ladies and gentlemen. We'll begin today's event with the recitation of the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. Yasin by the wise Quran. Indeed, you, O Muhammad, are from among the messengers, on a straight path. This is a revelation of the exalted in might, the merciful, that you may warn a person whose forefathers were not born, so they are unaware. Already the word has come into effect upon most of them, so they do not believe. Indeed, we have put shackles on their necks, and they are to their chins, so they are with heads kept aloft. And we have put before them a barrier, and behind them a barrier and covers them, so they do not see. Sadaqallahul Azim.
Now I respect you all to stand, to rise in the respect of National.
We will now invite one of our sponsors, Tulip, to give their presentation. So, Representative of Tulip, please join us on stage.
Thank you. My name is Faisal Suhail, and I am the head of marketing Introvert and a big admirer of architects as well, maybe because of my wife. Today I'll be taking you guys through with what Introvert as an organization is offering in this industry with all the wood and wood-based products. What we've been doing from last 42 years and what we are up to right now. So with this, first I would like the management to start that presentation if possible. Let me just take you guys through a quick brief of what Introvert is offering now. As a norm or as a mindset, people think that maybe Introvert is very good in quality, but Interwood is expensive. But it is exactly not the case. Interwood, now, if you just go to any of our outlet, you see any of our product, we always use the word VFM now, which means value for money. You talk about a door, you talk about a kitchen, you talk about wardrobes, home furniture. So we have about 7 different categories that we are offering. So the door that we are offering, no matter what the quality is, best quality or the best finish, the best polish, it starts with like 5,000 rupees, 6,000 rupees a door, goes up to 100,000 rupees. If you talk about a bed set, a normal bed set in market with an unorganized carpenters जो देते हैं, they offer you around 50,000-60,000 the bed sets that we offer. It starts with 23,660 rupees. So this is kind of the price range or the thing that we are offering. If you talk about the kitchens that Interwood offers with the best quality, best finish, the product, material and everything, even now we've recently introduced our Econo range that anybody can now install Interwood kitchen for about 90,000 rupees. And that's going to be Interwood kitchen now, from 90,000 onward. And those Econo kitchens, Econo range that we have, we can have one shutter for about 1,500 rupees ka, and you can have X number of shutters that you can design it yourself, you can customize it, you can do it your own kind of kitchens as well. Same goes for the wardrobes and of course the ranges that we have. So this is the first thing I wanted to just put across was the price and of course the kind of a mindset that people have that it is expensive. It is actually not. At the same time, we are promoting the stock element in business for the first time in Pakistan. That means like every product that you see at Interwood, no matter it's an office furniture, it's a kitchen shutter, it's a door, it's a wardrobe, or 1,500 different SKUs of home furniture, you can get it today. You can get the same product what you have chosen in Islamabad, you can get it in Lahore, in Karachi, in Islamabad, and in 22 different outlets of Interwood across Pakistan. You want one product, you need 10 products, you need 100 of that same SKU, you can get it from anywhere. So this is one thing that we felt earlier that there's a gap in the industry that we are trying to fulfill now. And again, this is the biggest muscle that we have, especially in the office category, with the executive sets to the workstations, to the chairs. Whatever the product you see at any of our outlets, you can get it then and there. The customization for the projects, the customization of finish, the customization of color is already there. I'm not saying it's not there, it's already there. But sometimes we need some quick solutions. Sometimes we need quick solution for masses. It is available at Interwood. And at the same time, we are promoting our retail business, as I mentioned earlier. In terms of retail, we probably having the biggest range of home furniture in Pakistan, with minimum showroom size of 15,000 square feet, goes up to 30,000 square foot showroom in Pakistan. We just 2 days back, we officially launched our Sialkot outlet, which is at CSD Sialkot, Canteen. So this is the retail business that we have, the home furniture that we have, from a bed set to beautiful lounge, to recliners and to the chairs. For your home furniture needs, it is also available at Interwood. So the top projects that I would like to mention, it was there in the presentation. And again, I personally apologize not to show you right over there. The projects that we have done or that we are doing, those are like probably the top projects, and we are facilitating the best architects of Pakistan. Name it, if I tell you the projects from you can say Imar of Karachi to in fact to the Shah Group project for the Rawalpindi-Islamabad, we are already there. From a Prime Minister house maybe to any elite home Pakistan, Interwood is already there facilitating our customers. So this is a quick brief of Interwood. The projects in Islamabad, the office in Islamabad, they're so kind. They are working with Interwood hand in hand, knowing the best facilities, the production line, the machine that Interwood keeps in order to keep the product intact and best of its quality and finish. Right now, in Islamabad, we are working for top 3-4 mega projects. Interwood is already present in those projects as well. If we can just play that video, that's going to be enough, I guess. Presentation is more or less covered. And before that, we are also working as an industry leader, I must say. We are proud to say that we are not only a company, but we are an institution at the same time. We are working too much in CSR as well. We are working towards training our new architects. We have already offered different training sessions for the architects and for the young architects. I would rather like to take this opportunity to offer the new and upcoming architects so they can come, they can visit our facility, our production facility, our factory in Lahore. Interwood will offer that for free. They can come, they can stay, they can not only see, but at the same time they can learn, they can understand the procedures, the systems that Interwood has just put it across nicely. Not only the craftsmanship, but the state of the art industry, the machinery Interwood have right now. We have. Is it? Sorry. Okay. Just go to the video explain. That's it. So these are the categories that we have. Just go back. If you guys can see on the right side. We are established since 1974. The categories that we have: home furniture, kids furniture, flooring, kitchens, doors, wardrobes, appliances, accessories, and office furniture. So we have about, only in office furniture, we have about 38 different designs for executive desks, for workstations and all. Yeah, move to the presentation, to this, the video. If you can move.
Interwood, inspiring generations. This is where the magic happens, where the finest craftsmanship in the country takes place, and every day art is created. We are present nationwide. We are not only comfortable, we represent a timeless style. Our original wood is carved to exceed imported quality standards, so each individual can rely on our skill. Each furnishing solution is meticulously created to improve the lives of our consumers to bring them closer to the brand. Each grain of our wood aims to perform better so you can inspire generations and shop for every furnishing solution under one roof. Interwood, inspiring generations.
Few awards that we have. Move forward. So just quickly, would like to take you guys through the projects and the esteemed customers that we have. Yeah, move forward. Okay. Just keep going on. This is about Islamabad again, Pakistan Union, then DHL Winners, Allied Bank, all across Pakistan, Interwood FFC, all across Pakistan, NIB Bank, all across Pakistan, MCP Tower, Head Office, and few branches, Descon, KSBA University, Awali Hotels, all across Pakistan again, and few international projects that we're doing from Parliament House, Maldives, and some projects in UK. So the facility that we have, this is our production facility in Lahore. We have more than 300 different state-of-the-art machinery that basically makes us produce best quality product and best quality furniture and wood-based products for the customers. Move on. So this is our locations across Pakistan. And as I said, we recently launched Sialkot and Sargodha. And Ahmedabad, yes.
Movement.
Yeah, so you can see from Karachi to Lahore, we have 4 outlets in Karachi, we have 4 outlets in Lahore, and then almost 4 outlets in Islamabad and Rawalpindi. Then we are in Peshawar, Jhelum, Lala Musa, Gujranwala, Islamabad, Multan, Sattar, Rarkana, Hyderabad, Quetta, Sialkot, and as I said, Sargodha. Just as I said, the final thing, we just recently introduced our economy range. Just quick. So that economy range is going to help people understand and to get the best product that they always suffer with the top vendors. So the range is about doors, kitchen shutters, kitchen appliances, accessories, wardrobe shutters, laminate flooring and hardware. A quick glimpse of what we are offering. So we have about 15 different designs that anybody can mix and match and they can make a wonderful kitchen or wardrobe. So thank you, thanks a lot.
Thank you for that presentation. I think it's always interesting to see so much interest in the field and varied materials that we get to know about. So that was good information. Next we have our sponsors, Yale, and we'll be learning a bit about their lock systems, which I'm sure you all have in our homes already. So we'll see their presentation shortly. A representative from Yale, please, come on stage.
Well, thank you very much. Firstly, I'm Usman Ishaq. I work for Asa Abloy. I'll try to take you through what this company is all about, and I'll try to clear all the ambiguities or the questions about the misunderstandings that Yale have in Pakistan from a customer mind or from a user mind or from a project or a contractor mind. Firstly, I would like to thank you all the distinguished guests and IAP for giving Asad Roy a chance to present it to all of you. This is actually Yale or Asad Roy's first time that we will be presenting ourselves in Pakistan. It was told to me that somehow the other we presented make it very boring. So I will try that to speak less and to show you more, so that that might create interest for all the viewers and the acceptance of Asad Roy, what basically Asad Roy needs from Pakistan can have. So I'll start with telling you who we are, so that as I am the first employee Asad Roy hired in Pakistan, so we'll start who we are. I want to request if you can play this video, like, yes, down.
Mobile phones have become an indispensable part of everyday life. Now a new evolution has begun, which will make that relationship even closer. The use of contactless connection, allowing mobile phones to open locks or interact with digital readers, is rapidly growing, and one name will soon become synonymous with its delivery: CIOS. CIOS is the backbone of the digital system that delivers contactless interaction. Homeowners across the world are beginning to use keyless access. They're able to enter their homes quickly and securely using their mobile phones with a digital key. They're also able to send a key to whoever they need to give access to, whether to workmen to give temporary entry to do a job for a day, or to ensure that their cleaner is free to come twice a week, or make sure that their nanny has free access to all parts of the home at any time. The CIOS system gives the user the ability to securely withdraw the key when access is no longer needed, or if the phone is lost or stolen, the key can be immediately revoked. In commercial buildings, this is particularly important, where sensitive locations have to be closely monitored. Digital keys can be assigned to allow controlled access and then removed shortly after, allowing complete control of the location. Keys are digitally encrypted, ensuring complete security. The breadth of the CIOS system means that hotel guests can now check in and get their door keys on their mobile while coming from the airport. No waiting at reception, no plastic keys, and immediate access to the upper floors and entry to their room. At the end of the stay, they're free to check out automatically from their room, without the inconvenience of time wasted at reception. CIOS is particularly powerful in the office environment. Entry into any area can be flexibly controlled, and using related software, rooms can be booked remotely, and access is then only available to the person who booked the room. As a result, companies now have complete control over access, with no more lost or stolen keys and no unauthorized access. Industrial environments, where larger areas have limited supervision, are increasingly relying on controlled digital contactless locks to ensure security and ease of entry for authorized staff. This is especially advantageous when dealing with areas with high value or with highly confidential security requirements. Yet the CIOS system offers much more than this. Apart from entering both external and internal doors, users are now able to register arrival automatically. When they're at their desk, they'll be able to access their personal computers contactlessly with a secure HID reader. Later in the day, make use of a secure printer. And in the afternoon, even buy that drink with their mobile. Built on open standards, CIOS offers a complete and tailored solution to different user needs and local requirements. Within a few short years, it'll be as normal to use a mobile for access as it is today to use it for the internet. CEOS, the digital heart of contactless connection.
Like my dear friend Interwood spoke, because some of the format that I have for my video is not playing on this computer. Anyways, IAPEX, they are the world's biggest door opening solution company. We have our presence in more than 70 countries at this point in time, and we have 46,000 employees all over the world. Today, if we see, we have a revenue of $8 billion. There are 108 brands that IAPEX owns in the world. I'm sure that these are the brands which are already known in Pakistan: Yale, HID, Multilog, Abloy, Wali and Bati. These are the brands that we are in the process of launching in Pakistan. Our consumer brand obviously is Yale. Our more project-based brand is more HID and Abloy locks. So we'll talk about Yale because when we came to Pakistan, our research study says that Yale is a product which is already available in Pakistan since 10-15 years. But unfortunate for us that we were unable to deliver this Yale product to the doorsteps directly. But it's good that we have our own office. We are in the process of building our office in Lahore. But before we bring or we make our office, we already have a distribution network. We have our authorized distributor in North, Al-Asif Hardware, and we have authorized distribution in Lahore also with the name IAPEX. In Islamabad, Al-Asif will represent our IAPEX. Where is it that IAPEX can be used? So we have healthcare, hospitality, commercial, residential, malls. When we talk about care, this is one aspect which is actually missing in Pakistan. We have locks which actually can take care of the microchip system, which reduces the bacteria, which is a very good product internationally used in our healthcare industry. There is another thing which is actually very much going have an upward trend as in of Go Green. So we have more than 50% of our products actually is to support our Go Green international projects. This is one interesting thing that we will be launching in Pakistan. These are our digital locks. These are standalone locks, which means no wires. We've already launched in Pakistan, and Al-Asif is in the process of introducing it to our residential and project businesses. This is a very convenient solution. We protect people, we protect places, we protect obviously planet with the Go Green project. But unfortunately still this happens. Some reasons of why this happened is, these are actually live pictures which I took from Pakistan, and we will talk in detail about actually what happens when we try to secure our doors from all these situations. We agree, do you actually make wrong choices when we opt for our hardware? It is because 0.5%, if I see the complete project cost, even if it's a house or a hotel or an airport, the total cost of hardware will always be 5%. It's not going to be more than, 0.5%. When it comes to architectural hardware, it is not more than 0.5%. Now let's go into our products. We have in residential, these are our products that we have started in Pakistan. for our apartment, bedroom, bathrooms. These are all the products which are available today now from our distributors. Now if we come towards the commercial aspect, I'd like to start a movie, and I'm sure this will create some interest in
People waiting in line is a common sight at the check-in counter in most hotels. However, at Claren Hotel Stockholm, this will become a thing of the past, when, thanks to NFC technology, guests can check in remotely instead.
The guest experience with the mobile keys is basically not having to queue at reception, just slipping past, going up to the room, starting to enjoy the hotel experience.
Clarion cooperates with Assa Abloy and 3 other companies in a trial where the hotel room keys are replaced by mobile phones with a technology called Near-Field Communication, or NFC.
What makes this trial unique is that it's the first complete solution for hotels using mobile keys in the world.
The hotel reservation is made as usual, through the webpage of the hotel or through a travel agency. On the day of arrival, a welcome text message is sent from the hotel with a web address where you can check in wherever you are. The check-in is confirmed instantly, and the room key is sent to your mobile phone. When arriving at the hotel, you can pass the front desk and go directly to your room. The door is unlocked simply by holding the phone against the lock. When leaving the hotel, you can do a self-checkout as well by simply touching the checkout point next to the front desk and then touching a confirmation button.
So basically, the advantages for us as a hotel and the staff here is that we can spend more time with each individual guest, enhancing the service and the guest experience instead of having to deal with all the hustle and bustle of a check-in.
Soon you will actually be able to open not only hotel doors, but also doors to your home and doors to your office using your mobile.
Using these NFC control box, but if you say that we might not have that much of smartphones in Pakistan, this is another product that we are introducing in Pakistan. These are the Wi-Fi locks.
On average, only 10% of doors in a building are managed by access control, which means 90% still need keys. Keys get lost. Keys need to be replaced. Keys have to be managed. Lost or misplaced keys are a security risk. But now there is a solution: Aperio wireless lock technology. You have an existing access control system. Now, with Aperio, additional doors can be wirelessly linked to a new or existing access control system. Installation is simple, fast, and straightforward. There's no need for door modifications, no need for cabling, and no more mechanical keys. Just one card for all the doors. With online door control using your existing EAC management system. Upgrade to Aperio and open your doors to secure, cost-effective access control.
Wi-Fi product at this point in time in the world, and now whatever I've shown you, I can show you in this slide format that these are the products that we will be introducing in Pakistan. These are all new products that are available in the world, and Asaf will provide it in Pakistan too, starting from sliding doors, automatic revolving doors. We will start our project, distributors in Pakistan, and all these products will be available through those project distributors. Please, carry on. This is about doors. Though we cannot manufacture these doors in Pakistan, but we are in the process of starting a door business here also. Because we are door manufacturers too, and a single leaf door or a double leaf door, a wood door and a medium door, these are all the doors that we will be selling in Pakistan. This is you've already seen. This is another product called e-click, where the lock is mechanical but the click is actually electromechanical. It charges the lock. So today I'll just request you to please go back. These are the over 300 products that we have innovated in the last couple of years, and almost 200 more products Asaf will be introducing in the coming times. Now this is what is important, and I would request all the architects to actually support us over here. We have we will starting a specification business in Pakistan, and this is how it will work. All what you have to do is please. All what you have to do is please provide us with your please provide us with your floor plans. We will put this floor plan in our system, which is actually connected with all our 108 brands, and according to your needs, we will create a bureau. This is the bureau that we will create, and we will provide it to the architects, so that architects can actually give authorized and standard hardware to Pakistan. This is a service which we will start for the first time here. So thank you very much. If there is any question about Asaf, please. Otherwise, thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you all the guests. Architect name Pasha Sahab, who's guest of honor today. Thank you, sir. Thank you all the panelists, Salman Mansoor Sahab, Nadeem Hassan Sahab, Taimur, Khan Mumtaz, Rafan Mani Sahab, Iktasam Pirzada, Sabahat Nawaz, Ibrahim Dil, and Hamad Sahab for moderation of this forum. Thank you, sir. Nadeem Sahab, Taimur Sahab, Rafan Mani Sahab, Ibrahim, they've come all the way from Lahore and Karachi to participate in this forum. And I would like to thank all the vendors, all the representatives are here. Thank you for participating wholeheartedly in our IAPEX. हमेशा की तरह आप लोगों की वजह से हम ये सारा यहाँ पे मेला सजाने में कामयाब होते हैं, तो आपकी पार्टिसिपेशन आइंदा भी ज़रूरत होगी उसी तरह जिस तरह से आप हमेशा हमारे साथ चलते रहे हैं। बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। इस दफ़ा हमने कोशिश की है कि थोड़ा सा स्केल बढ़ाया जाए और आपकी वजह से ये पॉसिबल हुआ है। हमने इस दफ़ा IAPEX जो है इसमें लार्जेस्ट नंबर ऑफ स्टॉल्स जो हैं वो है हमारे यहाँ पे, और इसी वजह से हमारी जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट कैंपेन है, इट्स द बिगेस्ट एडवर्टाइजमेंट कैंपेन जो कि मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया है। हमने न्यूज़पेपर एड्स, स्ट्रीमर्स, बैनर्स, होर्डिंग्स, हर तरह से एडवर्टाइज करने की कोशिश की है ताकि जनरल पब्लिक भी इसको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेट कर सके इसमें। इस सब एफर्ट्स के लिए मैं शुक्रिया शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा अपनी एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी का जिन्होंने दिन रात में हेल्प करके और इसको कामयाब बनाया है, और इसके साथ साथ हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी जिनकी अंतिम मेहनत की वजह से हम इस IAPEX को इस लेवल पे पहुंचाने में कामयाब हुए हैं, और स्टूडेंट्स स्पेशली जिन्होंने हमारे साथ पार्टिसिपेट किया, काम किया, ऑर्गेनाइज किया, और आज भी मैं देख रहा हूँ कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स भी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं यहाँ पे। आप सबका शुक्रिया। मैं ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं दूँगा क्योंकि हम ऑलरेडी लेट हो चुके हैं। हम शुरू करते हैं अपनी फॉर्मल फोरम की प्रोसीडिंग से। थैंक यू ऑल। अल्लाह।
Assalamualaikum and welcome everybody. Good to see a lot of young architects who are adding up into the IAP circle, and also we are pleased to have our seniors who have been always been supporting us in every manner. Naveed Sahab, Pasha Sahab, Saman Mansoor Sahab, all of them, we thank them for coming here. I would also like to thank our forum and the main sponsors. The main sponsors for the entire event has been IAPEX, and in foreign sponsors we have Introvert, Al-Asif and Yale, and we thank them all to be so much supportive and for providing us also the opportunity to interact with them on such a larger platform, and without their support this event would have not been possible. To give away the sheets, I would first of all like to invite our senior architects, Architect Saman Mansoor, please come on the stage, and I'll be announcing to give away the sheets. Sir, to give away the sheets first. Yeah, to the sponsors. Okay. I would like to call upon any representative from IAPEX to come and take. Anyone from IAPEX? Okay. Coming. Please not. Hardware, so we use foreign sponsor. These are some please. Next is Introvert. Introvert. Next is Yale. Please. Thank you for being so much supportive. Now, we're giving away awards for the best design. The criteria for design was the interactive use of space, the information available on their panels, and the professional advice they are giving. So we're giving these awards on the basis of the size of the stall. So for the larger stalls, our panel has shortlisted White Horse as the best design for the larger 36 square meter stall. Please, सामने. Thank you very much. for the 18-meter square middle-sized stalls, Chawla Aluminium has been shortlisted as the best design. Anyone from Chawla Aluminium? Okay. For the smaller stalls, 9-meter squares, MPI has been given the Best Stall Award.
सामने देखिएगा प्लीज।
Thank you. Now I would like to call upon architect Naeem Pasha Saab to give away the sheets to the rest of the vendors. Okay. Future technologies. These are the journal exhibitors who are being supported. We're going to call their names. Future technologies. Okay. Gyanis. Anyone from Gyanis?
सर प्लीज सामने।
Thank you. Next is Granito Tiles. Next is Homer and Dakings, MIA Corporation. Next is Master Offices. National Pipes, Cadre Pipe from Turkey.
Please, yes please. Thank you.
Prime Aluminium.
Please.
Chawla Aluminium. MEC Art. Sumber Industries Private Limited. Wood Hive.
सर प्लीज सामने।
Sir.
Thank you. Yes please.
Living Standards UPVC. Living Standards UPVC.
Yes please. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir. I would like to call architect Naeem Saab downward and give away the awards to the exhibitors. Chawla Aluminium.
सामने देखिएगा प्लीज।
Next is Hassangarh Furnitures. Kitchen Clear. Friends Environmental Solutions. Industrial Enterprises. Majestic Plastics. New Era Industries.
Please, सामने sir.
Roofline Private Limited. ANSA International.
Sir, please, सामने. Camera side, sir.
Concrete Wizard.
Sir, please.
After Concrete Wizard, it's Home Zone. White Horse.
Camera side, please.
And MBI.
Sir, please.
Anyone from Future Technologies again?
Sir, please.
Future Technologies. That's all, sir. Thank you so much.
For over 50 years, IAP has been providing a platform for sharing their architectural experiences through various conferences, symposia, workshops, and lectures, conducting design competitions for professionals and students. This year, the beautiful city Islamabad is going to host the IAP event featuring the theme Collaborative Ecologies, which envisions environments for mutual coexistence, interaction, and interplay of interdependent ecologies of the discipline. Practical, pedagogical, and technical. The forum specifically seeks to create a meaningful dialogue between academia and practice. And as I am seeing, यहाँ पर बहुत सारे students हैं as compared to the graduate architects. So I am sure they agree कि जो कुछ हम लोगों को throughout the 5 years पढ़ाया जाता है, it's more of conceptualization and वो कहते हैं कि हवाओं में मेहनत बनाना. तो मेरा ख्याल है कि जो practicing architects हैं, they kind of do not agree to this thing. Now
would like to mention and honor our two conveners of this entire event. They've done a lot of work organizing and managing everyone. Architect Azar Raza and Architect Janjay.
Now I'd like to introduce the presenters who are going to share their views about the theme, which is collaborative ecology. And the first presenter is architect Nadeem Hassan. And I'd like to tell you guys that after rendering his services as an architect with different private, he started his own practice as Nadeem Hassan Associates in 2001. And he's one of those Pakistani architects who practices internationally and recently won World Architecture Award for Space 152 in the 14th side.
Next we have Ms. Sabah Nawaz. She's a designer and an academician. Her work investigates contemporary ideas of space, its production, privatization, and the role of the designers as a critical and political agent within it. She aims to map out new possibilities that bring an exciting dimension to our architectural environment. She has a bachelor's in design and in textile design from National College of Arts and Design, and the textile futures from Central St. Martin's University of the Arts, London. She has done a one-year placement as an academic visitor in the School of Material, Royal College of Art, London. Her work has been exhibited nationally and internationally. Currently, Sabahat is appointed as Assistant Professor at the School of Art, Design and Architecture, National University of Science and Technology in Islamabad.
Architect Salman established Salman Institute in 1985 as an architectural and interior designer. And he has completed many prestigious projects including health, education, residential and commercial buildings. He elected as chairman, vice chairman at quite several times and participated in many national and international design competitions.
Next is architect Noor Khan Mumtaz. He's a senior architect at KKM Architects, holds an MA in South Asian Design and Architecture from Montfort University, Leicester, UK. Title of his MA dissertation, Use and Significance of Geometry in Islamic Architecture. He received his Bachelor of Architecture from the National College of Arts, Lahore in 1994. And Noor Khan Mumtaz is also the founder director of Hassan of Traditional Studies and Arts in Lahore.
Now a huge round of applause for these presenters. I request them all to please come on the stage and be seated. Architect Nadeemul Hassan,
please join us on stage.
Ms. Sabahat Nawaz, and architect Salman Mansoor, and architect Noor Khan Mumtaz.
We'll begin with the architect Nadeemul Hassan, who will represent the papers.
Do we have any foreigner in the audience? No? तो हम फिर क्यों सुबह से अब तक अंग्रेजी बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? सही बात है। मेरा यही जो हमारे पार्टनर हैं या हमारे जितने भी फोरम्स हैं इस तरह की गैदरिंग होगी तो हम अंग्रेजी बोलने की कोशिश करते हैं करके हम समझते हैं कि अब जब अंग्रेजी बोलेंगे तो शायद हमारी बात में ज़्यादा बदल होगा। उसकी बहरहाल एक रीज़न है तो उसकी बहुत सारे रीज़न हैं कि हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर एक इवेंट लगा है 100 साल की गुलामी के बाद ऐसा ही चल जाएगा। लेकिन इसका इम्पैक्ट आर्किटेक्चर एकेडमिया में भी पड़ता है कि जब आप आर्किटेक्ट बन रहे होते हैं तो उस वक्त आप सोचते उर्दू में हैं, ड्राइंगें आप अंग्रेजी में बनाते हैं और ठेकेदार से पंजाबी में बात कर रहे हैं। तो ये वाली जो आपकी कंफ्यूजन है ये आर्किटेक्चर जो हमारे हम देख रहे हैं उसको भी नजर आता है और इसके लिए मेरा ख्याल है एकेडमिया को थोड़ा सा अपने लेवल पर सोचना चाहिए क्योंकि एक आध दफ़ा कोशिश तो हुई है। कामिल खान ने एक दफ़ा कोशिश की कुछ वो ट्रांसलेट करने की टर्मिनोलॉजी है जो क्या आइडिया देखते हैं उनको फील्ड में किस जबान में बोले तो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क होता है। मसलन मैं 7 साल तक मैं 2 साल फेल हुआ था ऐसे तो मैं 7 साल तक एक डिटेल होती है ड्रिप मोल्ड बच्चों को नहीं समझ में आएगा जो हम कुछ छज्जे में लगाते हैं किनारा लगा देते हैं कंक्रीट का ताकि पानी है वो नीचे ना गिरे अंदर सीप ना हो शुरू में ही गिर जाए उसको हम कहते हैं ड्रिप मोल्ड कैट। और जब मैं 7 साल की पूरी ड्रिप मोल्ड की डिटेलें बना के और करके हम पास आउट होके फील्ड में गया कराची तो पता ये चला कि जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर उसे कह रहा था कि इसको तो सर टपक पट्टी कहते हैं मतलब टपक पट्टी में ड्रिप मोल्ड का फर्क है। अब होता क्या है कि हम तो जब MCA में थे या जब आप लोग जिस भी इंस्टीट्यूशन में है तो आपको बहुत ग्लोरीफाइड एक आपका फैशन आपको बताया जाता है, जो कि है ग्लोरीफाइड, लेकिन उसकी प्रैक्टिकलिटी यानी आप ट्रांसलेट कैसे करेंगे? जो आपने सोचा है, आपको तो रंगा लगाना भी नहीं आता, आप कैसे बनाएंगे? तो आपका जो ख्वाब है उसको तो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर बनाएगा ना, तो आप उसकी ज़बान में बात करें ना, या आपके दरमियान में कम्युनिकेशन गैप है प्रॉपर, जैसे अभी था कुछ देर पहले यहाँ, तो उस कम्युनिकेशन गैप को या आप दूर करेंगे या कॉन्ट्रैक्टर दूर करेंगे। कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को तो आप पढ़ा नहीं सकते 5 साल अभी लगे, मुश्किल काम, लिहाजा आपको ही यू हैव टू स्टेप डाउन टू हिज लेवल। और आपको मेरा ख्याल है कि ये समझना चाहिए कि उनकी क्या टर्मिनोलॉजी है, वो अकेडमिया तय करें कि वो कैसे ये सब बातें पता चल सकती हैं, शायद स्टूडेंट्स का साइट पे लेके जाना कुछ शायद फायदेमंद हो। एनीवे, इसका कॉन्सेप्चुअली जो नुकसान है वो ये है कि हमारे यहाँ जो अंग्रेजी और इसके अंदर हम इतना मतलब हो चुके हैं कि हमारे आर्किटेक्चर में भी रिफ्लेक्ट होने लगता है। जब हम कोई देखते हैं कि किसी ने बहुत अच्छी बिल्डिंग बनाई है तो हम कहते हैं यार बड़ा अंग्रेज काम करता है, लेकिन हमारा अपना आर्किटेक्चर है यार, उसको हम ही अप्रिशिएट करते हैं कि हम अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को, अपनी चीज़ों को जब एड्रेस करके कोई डिज़ाइन बनाए उसको लोग अप्रिशिएट नहीं करते। मेरी हमेशा कोशिश ये होती है कि मैं ऐसा कुछ डिज़ाइन करूँ, जब भी मैं डिज़ाइन कर रहा होता हूँ तो मैं अंग्रेज आर्किटेक्चर ढूंढने की कोशिश कभी भी नहीं करता है। कि ये उसकी वजह ये भी है कि मेरी अपनी अंग्रेजी बहुत बुरी है। मैं आपको स्लाइड दिखाता हूँ, आप समझ पाएंगे मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ। ये देखिए, ये हमने समझ लीजिए कि 2009 से 2003 के दरमियान 3 बिल्डिंग हमने बनाई। ये तीनों बिल्डिंग्स एक ही वक्त में मेरे स्टूडियो में बन रही थी और मेरे भेजे में इनकी डिटेलें चल रही थी, ठीक है। लेकिन आप ये देखें कि ये तीनों बिल्डिंग ऐसा लगता है कि 3 मुख्तलिफ मैगजीन से छापी गई। छापी तो डेफिनेटली नहीं, वरना अब तक पकड़ा जाता। इन तीनों का फर्क ये है कि ये 3 मुख्तलिफ शहरों में है। वो एक लाहौर में है जो ऊपर फ्रोजन जिसको अवार्ड वगैरह मिला है, ये नीचे मरी में है, और ये वाली कराची में बिल्डिंग है जो ऊंची राइट हैंड पे है। पॉइंट ये है कि तीनों की जो फिनिश है वो भी डिफरेंट है, जो लैंग्वेज है वो भी कंपैरेटिवली एक दूसरे से मिलती जुलती नहीं है। थोड़ा बहुत है कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा लाइनें लगाने में इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हूँ, ताहिल आदमी, तो स्ट्रेट लाइन्स में ज़्यादा मैं काम करना चाहता हूँ। लेकिन मेरा ये ख्याल है कि जो बिल्डिंग है उसका सिर्फ स्ट्रक्चर ही उसकी मट्टी में ना हो, आर्किटेक्चर भी उसी मट्टी से निकलना चाहिए। अगर आप ऐसा नहीं करेंगे तो वही होगा कि एक्टिंग ने यहाँ पे सेंटोरस बनाया, अंदर जाए तो आप राजा बना रहे हैं। अंडरस्टैंड? ये हंसने की बात नहीं, ये एक फैक्ट सीखो भाई इससे। आपने दी बेस्ट आर्किटेक्ट को बुला के सेंटोरस बनवा लिया जिसने बुर्ज खलीफा बनाया, लेकिन लोगों ने कैसे उसको रिस्पॉन्ड किया? क्योंकि जो एक्टिंग था उसने ये, मेरा नहीं ख्याल है कि रिसर्च की हाउ पीपल बिहेव देयर इन अ सर्टेन स्पेस। तो मेरा ये मानना है कि थोड़ा सा एकेडमिया को इस तरह से देखना चाहिए कि थोड़ी सी पाकिस्तानियत आनी चाहिए आपके डिज़ाइन के अंदर, आपके आर्किटेक्चर के अंदर। ये मेरी कोई अब मैं आपको बताऊँ, और बाकी की चीज़ें वही होती हैं जो आप अपने कॉलेज में पढ़ते हैं, वही साइट एनालिसिस होता है, वही सब चीज़ें होती हैं। ऐसा नहीं है कि जो आपको कॉलेज में पढ़ाया जा रहा है सब गलत है, बिल्कुल सही है। मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल के तौर से ये बिल्डिंग आपको दिखा रहा हूँ। इसी तरीके से वो जिसे आप कहते हैं ना कहानियाँ डाल रही है, इसमें पहले सबसे पहले कहानी आई, ये इसका कॉन्सेप्ट था। सलीस उर्दू में ये जो मेरे क्लाइंट हैं ये बहुत ज़्यादा मॉडर्न है, लेकिन थोड़े बहुत ज़्यादा रिलीजियस हैं। तो बिल्डिंग के अंदर वो जो इस्लाम है थोड़ी सी बात है मॉडर्न। इसी तरीके से हमने साइट एनालिसिस किया है बिल्डिंग को बनाते हैं। इसी तरीके से बराबर का जो उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट था उसको लिया, इसके बराबर में कच्ची आबादी थी तो उस हिसाब से हमने डिज़ाइन को डेवलप किया। फेस कॉन्क्रीट में बनाया, बजाय इसके कि हम कोई चमकदार किस्म की चीज़ लगाते हैं, ग्रेनाइट या जो वॉल है। ये बिल्डिंग हर वक्त कितना डायरेक्शन। इसी तरीके की आप लोग सेकेंड में से ये इस टाइप की स्केचेस आप लोग करना शुरू कर देंगे। आई गेस ये आपके लिए कोई आम कोई नई बात नहीं होगी, ऐसे ही बनती है बिल्डिंग। ये बिल्डिंग हमने कराची में जो बनाई 2 लाख स्क्वायर फीट की बिल्डिंग थी। बताना ये चाह रहा हूँ कि वो चूंकि कराची की थी, लिहाजा हमने उसके ही कॉन्टेक्स्ट में उसको डिजाइन किया, क्योंकि कराची में है, इसके सामने समंदर है, ग्रेनाइट लगाता है, बहुत नेचुरल चीज़ है, जरूरत होती है खराब हो जाने की, या लोगों बॉन्ड जिसे आप कहते हैं और बाकी का जो प्रोसेस है वो सेम है। अच्छा, दूसरा एक मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि जब हम लोग आर्किटेक्चर पढ़ रहे होते हैं अपने कॉलेजेस में, तो हमारे जो टीचर हुआ करते थे वो हमें बहुत ज़बरदस्ती और बहुत सारा आर्किटेक्चर पढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं, और वो चाहते थे कि ये बस आर्किटेक्चर ही पढ़ो और इसके बाहर दाएं बाएं ना देखो और ये ना। मेरे ख्याल में आर्किटेक्चर जो एक 3 डायमेंशनल आर्ट फॉर्म है, मेरा ख्याल है कि उसके अलावा आपको 2 डायमेंशनल और लीनियर आर्ट फॉर्म्स पे भी थोड़ी सी आपको किक मिलनी चाहिए, आपको पीछे से पुश करना चाहिए कि आपको वो भी प्रैक्टिस करें, क्योंकि आप आइसोलेशन में 3 डायमेंशनल आर्किटेक्चर जो है, आइसोलेशन में अगर आप सिर्फ आर्किटेक्चर ही पढ़ते रहेंगे, मेरा नहीं ख्याल है कि आप कोई ढंग का डिजाइन बना पाएंगे। जो हम डिटेलिंग की बात कर रहे होते हैं, तो जब आप 3 डायमेंशनल बिल्डिंग बना रहे हैं तो उसकी 2 डायमेंशन जो है उसको भी डिटेल आउट करें, उसको भी देखें। और मैं ये कॉन्शियसली प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ कि मैं कोई ऐसी एक्टिविटी जरूर करूँ जो 2 डायमेंशनल हो। मसलन बहुत मेरी ऐसा बहुत अच्छी पेंटर है, मेरी चूँकि ड्राइंग खराब थी, ज़्यादा फोटोग्राफी करता है, ये कुछ मैंने कहा कि मौका गनीमत है तो मैं तस्वीरें दिखाऊँ। ये एक आर्किटेक्ट फोटोग्राफी कर रहा है। और उस फोटोग्राफी से जो मुझे फायदा लग रहा है वो ये कि मुझे लाइट की समझ थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा आ गई एज कम्पेयर टू जब मैं फोटोग्राफी नहीं करता था। इस पिक्चर में आप देखें इन खातून के 2 फेसेस नजर आ रहे हैं। जब मैंने ये तस्वीर खींची, इसके बाद मेरा जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग लाइट की थी वो और भी थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा बढ़ गई। मुझे ऐसा लगता है, और मैं ये बिल्कुल नहीं कहूँगा कि आई नो आई राइट, कि आपको सिर्फ आर्किटेक्चर के इर्द बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए, आपको उससे हट के भी आपको पोएट्री की भी बात करनी चाहिए, आपको पेंटिंग करनी चाहिए, आपको और भी बहुत सारी एक्टिविटी। और थोड़ा सा मेरा गुस्सा इसलिए ज़्यादा है इस बात पे कि मैं IAP कराची चैप्टर की एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी में हूँ और मेरे जिम्मे जो है स्टूडेंट की परफॉर्मेंस वाली नहीं है। यानी बिलीव इट एक इंस्टीट्यूशन ने मुझे क्लियरली लिख के भेजा कि हमारे बच्चे जो हैं वो परफॉर्मेंस टाइम पे नहीं पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे, दे आर वेरी वेल ऑक्यूपाइड विद देयर स्टडीज। व्हाट नॉनसेंस, किस तरह की स्टडी है? मतलब अगर एक बच्चा है जो कि अपने डिजाइन को एक्सप्लेन ही नहीं कर सकता 50 लोगों के सामने, उसमें क्या कर रहे हैं? बहुत अच्छे आर्किटेक्ट बनते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप बात ही नहीं कर सकेंगे उस पर, आपके अंदर वो बोलने का कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं आएगा, आप 100 लोगों को फेस नहीं कर सकते, क्या करेंगे? एक मेरा ख्याल है, हमारे पास स्लाइड है, ये मैं अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन ऐड कर रहा हूँ, मैं थोड़ी सी शायरी वाली भी करता था। एक मेरा बल्कि मैं बताता हूँ आपको कि कैसे शायरी। एक मैंने अभी बिल्डिंग आपको दिखाई थी मरी में, तो वहाँ एकदम जो हमारा जो कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोसेस होता है उसके अंदर जब बर्फ पड़ जाए बड़ा आजाद आ जाता है नहीं कर सकते, तो मैं था वहाँ पर एकदम कुछ थोड़े बहुत बर्फ पड़ी, फ्लेक्स गिरे, हम टेंशन में आके मैंने अंदर की तरफ गया, कोई और काम कर रहे वापस आया तो वो सारे फ्लेक्स गायब थे क्योंकि एकदम तेज धूप निकल रही थी, दुआ लगी। उस वक्त मैंने कोई शेर गए थे वो सुना देता। गुम हुआ फिर से कोई चाहने वालों की तरह, धूप में बिखरे हुए बर्फ के गालों की तरह, साथ रहने की कसम ऐसे निभाई उसने, एक कोने में रहा सुरमई जालों की तरह। और मुझसे पहले ही रहा, जिक्र हमेशा उसका, मैं जवाबों की तरह था उस हवाले में।
Next we'll call Ms. Sabana Nawaz for her presentation.
Essay about the future. In the future, a telephone will be so small that we can put it in our pocket and take it with us everywhere. We can see whom we're speaking with on a small screen, and we can watch the news and TV shows on the phone all day. We can also listen to the radio by putting tiny speakers into our ears. The phone will have a built-in camera. You can see live football matches on the phone. You can play fun games and send pictures and messages invisibly through the air. There's also a kind of gramophone inside the phone, and thousands of great songs will come into the phone through the air. And do you know what else? You can make your own movie with your phone, and you can record sounds, and you can even create your own ringtones.
Hello everyone, and thank you very much for the IAPEX team to invite me, and let me share my opinion and my thoughts. Nadeem sir, thank you so much for your presentation. I hope you don't mind if I continue in English. So the reason I shared that trip was not because I'm here to promote Telenor. I am nowhere near marketing. I'm not even an architect actually. I have a background in design, textile design, and I have been teaching in the School of Art Design and Architecture, SADA, at NAST, for almost 6 years now. So my presentation is going to be about a bit of my work and a bit of my students' work that I want to share, but mostly about, I think, curiosity and questioning of what a studio should be like, or what a studio instructor should communicate to his or her students. So I'll start off with my own project. So this project, Interactive Wall, which I did back in 2008. I'm not going to get into the detail of the project because the idea is not that I want to deep dive on the project, but more so the opinion that it will carry forward. So the project was about cross-cultural interaction, and because I've always been interested in cross-cultural interaction, I thought that it's a fantastic idea to explore it for my master's project. So I looked into spaces because I was always interested in spaces which did not have any social interaction or did not engage in any social community exchange. Hence, well, I thought that airport is a fantastic way of exploring these ideas. So I picked up these spots within the airport which were narrow corridors, which were long passageways, which were not used for any social engagement. And I thought that why not use the space for cross-cultural interaction, because, well, we get people from all sorts of ethnicities, all sorts of backgrounds. So, well, I proposed this software where you could actually program this interactive wall. So the interactive wall is actually installed in a corridor in Terminal 5, supposedly, and which has embedded sensors located all throughout the corridor. So how it functions is that it reads off information from your passport, the biometric passport. So the RFID chip located in your passport will read off your nationality, and then it will start projecting your national patterns on the side of the wall. So this interactive wall, the system, is not just for beautiful patterns to appear on the wall, but it's more about the social and political idea of space and of design. So design being because we're looking at these patterns that I have picked from these 6 countries that I've chosen to work with. And I picked specific textile craft from each one of them. And then I developed these patterns, hand drew them, and I converted them into animated patterns. Now these patterns are like silhouettes, so when you walk in the corridor space, these are walking with you alongside you. Now the purpose of this wall is not just again to give you a virtual beautification of the images, but it's also about monitoring the space. So if let's say the person is walking less than, I think the regular speed is 52 feet per minute, if I'm not wrong. It's there somewhere, I can't read it from this part. So if you're walking slower than the regular speed required to walk in a corridor space, the patterns would disappear or it would fade out. Same goes for if you're running in the corridor space, it would again disappear. So the idea is that it's also monitoring your behavior, because it's again a very critical space. It's an airport, so there are security concerns as well. So it's doing that, and at the same time, it's showing how one pattern can hybridize into another pattern. So let's say I'm carrying a Pakistani passport, and I walk alongside or I cross a person with a different nationality, say China. And so the moment we start to come close together, the patterns are going to merge into one silhouette. So it's talking about this cross-cultural engagement, or this world becoming a global hub for becoming a metropolitan place, really. So the way the patterns sort of start to merge, it becomes into a new form of communication. So it's a virtual communication within nationalities, within cultures. So that being that. So this is a still from the video that I had developed. And so I guess you're thinking right now, why am I going on about my project? I'm going on about this project because I think I want to make a point that I'm not an architect. I have no business designing a corridor. I don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to begin doing that. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a software designer. I don't know how this program actually works, but I know how it would work, but I haven't actually prototyped it. So what I'm trying to get at is that I have a background in textile design. And my textile design training at the undergrad level did not allow me to think beyond textiles from fabric, from material. So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. My training was fantastic. I'm not saying that NCA is not a place to go. NCA textile department is doing really well. But what I'm saying is that I was never given exposure, or I was never encouraged to think that textiles can also be a medium other than fabric. It can be other than what you wear or what you print. Hence, I think that it's so important to be able to think out of your system, to be able to question, to be able to be curious, which takes me to this paper that a friend and colleague of mine from New Zealand, we both did together a few months back. So the paper, I think, is very relevant to our conversation here, because I'm not just talking about textiles, I'm talking about design in general. I would like to read out a small paragraph from the paper. So the paper basically covers attempts to establish a certain ground, suggesting improvements in the interdisciplinary benefits of combining talents for a communal will. So under the section of issues and design practices and pedagogy, it says, when it comes to design education, however, there is a rift between academic design and the needs to market these. There seems to be some, and the needs of the market. So there seems to be some stagnation in the application of the academic design in the market. In the classroom or in the studio, these ideas might be avant-garde and revolutionary, but when it comes to practical application, the industry wants to promote only technically sound, socially safe, and tried ideas. The once radical but now dated and outmoded colonial system of design pedagogy falls short to evolve itself with the contemporary technological and capitalist needs of the world. So I'm referring to Mayo School of Art in the previous section of the paper. The romance of the previous century's art is no longer the sufficient to address the commercial and economical needs of today. The crop graduating from these colleges rarely shows entrepreneurial capacity and lacks the sight to connect her acquired skill in the context of the spirit of the time. The challenge is to communicate. It is critical for design to communicate, to be part of its time, and to characterize its culture. So how does a design course prepare the student to understand the different tiers of commercial and social design? In Pakistan, formal design dictates the subjects to achieve the basics, similar to that of the skilled labor. Thus, there is not much room for critical thought or challenge. I think what I'm also trying to say is that studio is a place where conceptual and technical needs to go hand in hand. And the student needs to be aware that the student is an individual. The student is not going to be told what to do. The student has to be given individuality. They're unique. And unless the student is aware of his or her own skill, it cannot flourish. The studio will not go anywhere. The individual will not go anywhere. So, in order to be aware of your skill, the studio needs to inculcate that training, that thinking in the student. And if the studio is successful in doing so, it will eventually integrate critical thinking in the students and analytical thinking. And I think it is the critical thinking which is required in the students today, because that is the only way they will be sensitive enough for the needs of the market, for the needs of the design. Otherwise, if you're not sensitive enough to understand what the demand of the market is, then you keep on reproducing what has already been there. I'm not questioning the traditional here. I think even to explore that, one has to be curious enough. So I'm talking about this curiosity. So I'll share this project that third-year industrial design students at SADA did in the last semester under virtual environment design class. The project, as the name suggests, is Back to the Future. And so the course was built such that this was the final project of the course. So the entire course spoke about utopians and utopian ideas for a city. What is a utopian city? So it was very subjective, of course, because everybody's utopia is a different utopia. Anyhow, so with a lot of help, and Nana was here in the audience, she helped us with architectural projects a lot. So we shared a lot of examples to understand what utopian ideas are of the city. Anyhow, so these students, Tahir Mustafa, Dur Shawar, and Sadi Anjali, they explored this idea of a city where they're questioning the technocratic nature of the world that we're becoming, we're slowly becoming, and we're headed towards. She's talking about, so they're talking about this idea of home and house, and how they're assuming that people in the future are going to be traveling a lot, frequently. So the idea of a home is going to probably disappear. So they're developing this smart card, which basically will be inserted in some sort of prototyping structure, which would eventually build a physical module. And what it does is that it can carry the information of your home with you as you travel. So wherever you travel, this home is traveling with you, with of course additions and subtractions. That being one. And the reason again I'm sharing this project is because we're looking at building some sort of vision in students. So I'm not saying that this project is going to end up making them produce this when they go in the market. But we're talking about 2050. We're talking about time beyond that. We're talking about not today, but we're preparing them for that time. And I think it's so important that we don't just talk about today. We also inculcate vision in them. And again, going back to being sensitive. Is very important. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with Frankfurt Kitchen, which was designed by an Austrian architect, Margaret Schäfer. So again, this was done in 1926, and the idea of Frankfurt Kitchen was again issues that are dealt with domestic kitchen, space that is prone to waste. So she's the first person who actually studied ergonomics in the kitchen. So this takes me to another project from my students, which was done in Gachibowli by Amna Shahid, Arfa, Mashal, Jashma Zahid, and Navera Farooq. So these girls, again, this is third year architecture, but this was done in interior us that they took inspiration from Bradford Kitchen. The idea of studying ergonomics in a domestic setting, in a kitchen setting. And they were asked to redefine their ideas of what ergonomics is, because there are no ergonomic standards for the kitchen. Anyhow, so they went to the Kachivali for their project, and they studied this in detail. What are the requirements? What do women require in a domestic kitchen, in a more traditional setting? And hence they proposed a system, and they actually developed a prototype that would be entirely based on a low-heighted kitchen setting, a kitchen layout. So the woman, the lady, is actually sitting on a revolving, rotatable stool. And basically her movement is very fluid, so that fluidity dictates her ergonomics in the kitchen. And well, this is just one project. So I think by sharing this project, I'm also going to say that it's not a matter of going ahead in 2050 or going back to 1926, but it's about being able to apply the knowledge that you have acquired in the studio and going out in the market and going out and surveying. I think what we really fail to do as instructors also, at least I'm speaking for myself, that we fail to ask questions from our students. And I think that is where we don't make them curious enough to question and to think. So, well, I think my video is going to end here because we're not curious enough as people. And I think that's the most important part of our learning as individuals. So these are the 3 points that I thought are important. Self-awareness. I think we need to be aware of our needs as people, as individuals. What are our skills? Unless we identify what we stand for, we cannot project it on society. Studio instructor needs to be a practicing designer, artist, architect. Because again, if you're not a practicing architect or designer yourself, what are you bringing? What knowledge are you bringing to the studio? And I think that studio instructor is a source of inspiration. When I was doing my master's, I was not told not to think about textiles in a certain way. I was told to actually question textiles as a medium. And I think that is what led me to be interested in architecture enough that I've spent 6 years teaching in architecture. But thank you very much.
regarding the absorption of fresh graduates into the profession and what needs to be done at the level of the academia and at the university level and what sort of changes need to be done in their training or in the curriculum. So I will be starting with a comparison of what is going on elsewhere in the world and what is going on in Pakistan. I am comparing Pakistan, which is maybe at the bottom of the ladder as far as architecture profession is concerned, and comparing with the United States of America, which is at the top of the ladder. As in everywhere and everything else, they are at the top of the architecture profession. Pakistan with a population of 200 million people, USA with a population of 320 million people. So the population, the total number of architects in Pakistan, from the latest figure available from PKP, is 4,818 architects, almost 5,000 architects who are registered. But out of those registered architects, about 200 are they have been removed from the list. So the effective number is about 2,600 architects who are in the PKP registered list. In comparison, In America, we have got 106,000 registered architects. The gap is so wide. In Pakistan, there is one architect for every 40,000 people living in Pakistan, one architect for 40,000 people. In comparison with America, we have got one architect for every 3,000 people. There are other countries like in Turkey, we have got one architect for 2,200 people. So the gap is quite wide. In Pakistan, we have got about, this is not an exact figure, but we have got about 600 companies, 600 architectural practices in Pakistan. Some are maybe a single person firms and some are bigger, as big as Nespark is. So there are about 600 firms. But in USA, we have got 17,500 firms. So keeping the population of Pakistan in view, we need to increase, we need so many more architects and we need so many more firms. In Institute of Architects Pakistan, we have got about 2,000 members, which also include the affiliate members who are not qualified architects, but they are students, senior students, or architects who are waiting for their registration with PKP. In American Institute of Architects, have got about 83,000 members. So here the gap is quite wide. The total annual turnover of architectural firms in USA is $26 billion. $26 billion. The total budget of Pakistan last it was in financial year 15-16 is $41 billion only. So it is no comparison at all, but we can see the potential for this profession is so wide and we have to cover such a long distance, and for that definitely we will be needing more architects. So the discussion that there are too many universities, too many architects coming out, job market is not prepared to absorb them, I think we should not be discussing it. We can see the potential. More architects are coming, they can create their own firms, they can create their own practices, and definitely our profession needs a lot of new architects, and if we want to compare with maybe 100 years is not enough. We can compete with the figures of the USA. Ground reality is stupid. There are 17 accredited universities or schools of architecture in Pakistan which are registered by the PKP, and PKP has given accreditation to them. But still there are 11 non-accredited institutions as well. So the total number are about 28 educational institutions which are producing architects, and the workforce which is adding to the profession is about 1,000 fresh architects every year. 1,000 fresh architects every year. Ground reality, there are serious issues with the trained faculty. Definitely the growth is mushroom, it is a mushroom growth, and the number of architects who are interested in teaching is very low. The criteria of employing architects as teachers, as professors is very strange. They are asking for master's degrees, they are asking for PhD degrees. They are not considering the professional experience as anything to do with the teaching. And another very strange criteria which I find while I was reading a guide for National College of Arts. The first priority is for experience in academics. The second priority is experience in research. And the third priority is your experience with national institutions or some foreign institutions. I don't know by institution they mean architectural firms or not, or maybe by institution they mean CBA or NESPA, institutions like that. So for all the courses which are the maximum focus of curriculum is on the design for 5 years. Our university is trying to teach how to design a building to the architectural students. But employing real designers for teaching design is not being done in any of the universities. There are very few, definitely in some universities there are some good architects who are teaching high classes and they've got some name as far as design architect is concerned. But most of the academia is people who are more interested in research, people who have got experience in teaching, but definitely they have not worked at all in any of the architectural design firms. Ground reality is 3. There are not enough number of firms to accommodate all the graduate architects. We have got about 600 firms, 1,000 fresh architects are coming into the market. So architectural practice is not in a position to adopt or to employ all these architects. Difference in demand and supply, more architects are coming, demand is low, always resulted in low salaries to the fresh graduates. Even most firm feels that paying any salary to a fresh graduate who is non-productive in their office environment is a burden on their meager resources. Definitely American firms, they've got a revenue of $26 billion. They are in a better position to pay, but still in America, they pay according to the productivity of the graduates. Architectural schools are least concerned with the job market demands, focusing more on the visionary or conceptual aspect of the discipline. This is another problem. When we employ an architect, we always see whether they've got the right skills. Maybe they may be drafting skill or presentation skills or skills for the design or some technical know-how about construction, about detailing and things like that. But since the focus of the educational institution is more on the conceptual side of the architecture, so the fresh graduates who are being inducted into the firm, first of all, we have to make them unlearn what they have been learning at the university. Then we have to start a process of relearning, and that time period it may be 6 months time, or for few individuals it may be a couple of years, and for some they are never ready to learn, so it can be an indefinite period of time. So the period which is required for adjusting to the new environment is definitely it is a difficult time period for the fresh graduate. And that is why most of the time fresh graduates that they get disillusioned with the profession. And I think positive feedback may not be going to the universities or the people who are aspiring to become architects, because in some other disciplines people are getting better pay, like in chartered accountant, like in graphic designers are getting much more healthy income in comparison with the fresh architectural graduates. While universities are making money, situation is not very rosy for the graduates and their potential employers. What should be done? What we feel that the system, how system can be improved? What needs to be done at the university or at the architectural school levels? Architecture is not everybody's cup of tea. We feel that there are the people who have got a degree in architecture, but they have not the right kind of aptitude for this profession. So please go for a profession-specific aptitude test. Very generalized NTS, National Testing Service, the test provided by the NTS, or IQ test is not enough. We need to devise some kind of a profession-specific aptitude test. Design studio should be handled by the teachers who have considerable experience in the designing of the buildings. People from academic or research backgrounds are misfit to conduct the design studio teaching. Geometry is the mother of architecture, and I'm very sorry to say that emphasis in the first year of architecture, it should be on the teaching of the geometry or solid geometry. But in a fresh graduate, there are times when you come across a fresh graduates who doesn't understand the basics of geometry. So how can we expect them to be some great architects in 4, 5, 10 years' time when they don't have any respect for understanding geometry? Building is a three-dimensional object. It needs to be understood, designed, and detailed like that. Most of the time, most of the architects coming from universities or with some couple of years experience, they can do well as far as two-dimensional planning is concerned. But when it comes to a three-dimensional understanding of spaces, three-dimensional understanding of volume, their performance is not up to date. I think at the second year, third year, or fourth year level, model making or three-dimensional sketching or 3D perspectives, emphasis should be on that. There are certain computer programs which help them create a three-dimensional image of the building, but it needs to be something very realistic and something to do with the details. While exploring and instigating the creative streaks in architecture students, the practical and technical aspects of architecture should not be undermined. We, at the school level or at university level, we try to instigate the students to come up with new, fresh ideas, to try new things. We support them, and definitely it is a way of learning, and it develops their creative capabilities. But still, building is something which needs to be used. It is not like a painting. It is not like poetry, which stands alone somewhere. Building has to be a very practical side, which needs to be constructed. It needs to be detailed. It needs to have some very intricate services and things which needs to be blend together to come up with a very workable structure or some workable space. So the practical and the definitely construction related, they need to be taught at the same time when the creative capabilities of students are being enhanced. Real world is harsh, cruel, and unforgiving. And architecture is a profession for the real world. Most of the fresh graduates find it real hard to move from a virtual world to the real world. When I say harsh, cruel, and unforgiving, I can remember one incident when nearly Zada was jailed, when Alhambra building roof collapses due to some improper maintenance by the PWD people, but since Nair was the well-known name and architect, and building has got an award, Aga Khan award, so it was very easy for everybody to put blame on him, and he has to remain behind bars for a week or so before getting the bail. So in real world and in virtual world, there is a difference, and we need to be very practical about how we are pursuing our studies and how we are defining and developing our curriculum. What should be the future course of action? Architectural education needs to we feel at practice that architecture education needs to be structured. It needs to be structured like medical profession is structured, where hospital training goes with the theoretical courses, and it is part and parcel of the whole exercise. And even that practical training is further strengthened with a mandatory house job, 1 year house job. In European countries or in America, definitely that house job period is much longer than what is in Pakistan. But still, as a beginning, that house job period maybe that sort of a thing can be introduced in architecture training as well. Another example when education and training go side by side is how chartered accountants are trained. And when a chartered accountant qualifies, he gets a very high salary and very coveted post in so many financial or non-financial or different institutions. So the practical side, the technical side, it needs to be enforced. It is high time that academia and practice sit together and work out a well-structured program to train architects according to the real-world demands and to make them capable of joining the profession, make them new graduates capable of joining the profession with vision, expertise, and confidence. Thank you.